Good morning, grade 1S students. I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to start a new chapter, Supply of a Chlorophyll Plant with Mineral Substances. Please open your books, page 28, on Activity 1, Root Absorption of Water and Mineral Salts. The objectives of today's video are to verify that green plants absorb water and mineral salts from the soil. Number 2, to determine the zone of absorption in roots. And number 3, to list the different structures of a root here. In order to verify that green plants absorb water and minerals, a porometer can be used. It is an apparatus that measures the quantity of water absorbed by the roots of the plant. Observe document 1. A porometer consists of a jar filled with water and a capillary tube. In setup A, we put the roots of the plant in the jar and we mark the level of water at the beginning of the experiment, represented by T1, and after a few hours we mark again the level of water, represented by T2. We notice that the level of water moved backward, which means that the level of water in setup A decreased. However, in setup B, if we mark the level of water at the beginning of the experiment and few hours later, we notice that the level of water remained at its place. Now let's analyze the experiment. In setup A, when the roots of the plants are placed in colored water, now related with the result, after a few hours, the water in the capillary tube moves backward from T1 to T2. However, in setup B, that doesn't have a plant, after a few hours, the water in the capillary tube remains at its place. What do you conclude? I conclude that the green plant absorbs water by its roots. Plant roots absorb the water and mineral salts from the soil. The mineral salts must be dissolved in the water in an ionic form. What zone of the root carries out the absorption? The roots of green terrestrial plants consist of different zones. Can you see the figure? There are 3 zones, zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. Where are the hair-like structures located? They are located in zone 1. Can you see these extensions? So, zone 1, also called the root hair zone. This zone consists of absorbing root hairs which are responsible for the absorption of water and mineral salts. They provide a great area of contact with the surrounding medium. The second zone is called the growth zone. This zone allows the root to get deeper within the soil, and it is the zone where mitosis of the plant cells occur. And the third zone is called the root tip because it is found at the tip of the root. In order to locate the precise site of absorption in the roots, rosin experiment was carried out as shown in the figure below. Observe document 3. In tubes 1 and 4, the root hairs are placed in water, while in 2, they are placed in air. Moreover, in 3, the root hairs are placed in oil. Let's see the results. In tubes 1 and 4, where the root hairs are placed in water, the plant lives. On the other hand, when the root hairs are placed in air or in oil, the plant fades. Number 1. Pose the problem studied in this experiment. Which structure is responsible for the absorption of water and mineral salts? Is it the root hair zone or the other 2 zones? Number 2. Pick out the variable factor in this experiment. The variable factor is the location of the root hairs. Number 3. Deduce the structure responsible for the absorption of water and mineral salts. When you are asked to deduce, you must start by logical reasoning, then you state your answer. In this experiment, the logical reasoning could be in the form of analysis because we have variable factor and results. I will answer. In tubes 1 and 4, when the root hairs of the green plant are placed in water, the plant lives. However, when they are placed in oil or water, for example in tubes 2 and 3 respectively, the plant fades. Now you state your answer. Hence, the structure responsible for the absorption of water and mineral salts is the root hair. So in the previous experiment, we saw that the root hairs are responsible for the absorption of water and minerals. But what are root hairs? The root hairs are elongated cellular parts well adapted to absorption. The root hairs are numerous and offer a great surface area of contact with the solution of the soil. They have suitable morphological properties for the exchange of mineral substances such as a very thin wall permeable to water, a great vacuole which stores water, and an extensive surface. Please look at the cross section of a root. As we can see that the root hairs emerge from the epidermis. Can you see this wall? This wall is called the epidermis. It is made up of epidermal cells, and from this, root hairs emerge. One of the major characteristics of the root hair is that it is made up of a large vacuole which stores the water and a thin wall. So please, you should memorize these characteristics. Thin wall, a big vacuole, and an extensive surface. This schematic representation is also showing a cross-section of the root at the root hair zone. Can you spot the root hairs? Yes, these root hairs emerge from the epidermis. Today's session is finished. Please, I want you to copy this conclusion on your copybooks and memorize it. And please, I want you to do this as a homework. Copy all the questions on your copybook and try to solve them. Thank you and see you soon.